So here we are at the Greaves 3D all-in-one pit cart. Starting off with the chassis, it's on a hydraulic leveling system. So when you get here, it's all battery operated. Single press of a button, the unit levels itself and then ready for setup. We've got all the network infrastructure that comes straight into the stand down here. So you've got your aerial for the radio, your two network connections to the truck and to the point-to-point connection. And from there it all feeds in to the server rack. So in here we've got a full server rack with all the power distribution, UPS for fail-safe in case of a power cut, and then all the network system and the IPTV, so for all the internet TV. Each desk location is equipped with the GreenGo intercom system on this particular unit. Behind this panel, each engineer has their network connection, a power connection, ready to plug in their laptops and be operational on both monitors. There's a HP docking station installed, so that all the connections are through one USB-C for everything else. So it's easy plug and play. Obviously engineers coming directly from the truck, they want to just sit down, plug in and be ready for the session. Coming around the front of the stand, we have the fuel rig element of the unit. So we've got the fuel tank all assembled. We've got our Greaves 3D timing system. So we've got a timer here for the fuel head and an additional timing screen here for the fuel flow sensor that's IMSA mandated. The tank is currently at 2.5 meters high with the current regulations. We've got a fully adjustable tank system so that you can go up and down depending on what height you need to run at. So we're comfortable running between 1.8 and 2.5 meters. Inside here, we've got a fuel vent and fuel in line which runs through the whole stand, and then that feeds to the tank so you can safely fill and drain the tank through the drum and the onboard pump system that we have inside. And then on the outside here we've got our boom with 4 lights which are all independently adjustable, so you can get the light directly over the car exactly where you need it, and then obviously the signboard for the drivers to have their reference. So down here we have the air system for the unit. So we have 3 air cylinders that are in. They go on a roller system that get fitted from the other side of the stand. We have 4 regulators. So you have 2 wheel gun regulators. These here will be used for the rear of the car because of the position of the stand. And then we have a lance regulator and a service regulator for any general workshop air use they need. All the data connections for the car and the airlines are here. So we have a power charger and the download cable that then get fed up through the carbon boom. And then we have all the airlines that plug in for the pit stop for the lance and the wheel guns. Moving around to this side of the stand, we've got the stairwell unit, which is sort of the area for the mechanics. So they have a lot of storage in here. They have all their air hoses and equipment, which they can put in this big drawer here. So they have all the airlines and everything ready, which they obviously have a nice storage area for. Again, this is fully leveled on independent leveling feet. The stair unit itself folds up like so. And then under here, we have the access for the air cylinders. On this side of the unit, we've got the aerial mount. So they've got a nice strong mast and everything then is contained in the one unit. On the front here, they have exactly what they need for the car. Some cleaning equipment and brake bleed stuff, easy accessible. The tools for the pit lane and the tools for assembling the rig are all installed in here. And then again, we have exactly the same regulator setup as we have in the main stand in here, which is here to operate the front of the car. Obviously, if the track's a different direction, we'll use this one for the rear and that one for the front. And with that, we'll head upstairs and show you the engineering area. So up here, we have engineering space for the 9 engineers. So with this particular setup, that was exactly what MSR Shank Racing wanted. So we have the 6 engineers along the front, the race engineer and performance engineers, Mike Shank's spot, the most important one obviously. So they have a good view of the pit lane through this gap. They can see the pit stops left and right. They can see a lot of the pit lane. In each location, they have the 1U GreenGo unit, slightly more advanced intercom than the ones we saw downstairs. We have an Asus Zen screen to give them extra space for all their data. And then obviously that links to the upper screen as well. So they're going to have their computer connection or the IPTV connection on the upper monitor. On the rear of the stand, we have a single unit and a double unit. Again, this is where the Honda Racing guys are for the engine system. So they've got their location, and all the engineers operating the car are up here in a nice safe location. The engineers can get along with their work up here while the mechanics are free to do what they need to downstairs, giving them a lot more space down there to operate with tires and stuff, and they're never getting in each other's way. The bench here is somewhere for VIPs and the drivers, so they all have their intercom and a radio hanging up. So yeah, the drivers will sit in here during the stint following the race, having chats with the engineers through the intercom system, preparing for when they're getting in the car for their stint. The whole unit here is encapsulated by an Alpha Canvas awning system that's fully built to the unit, so we work closely with Alpha Canvas on that. There's many options of rolling up the ends, the mesh sides, and obviously full waterproofing with all the sides down and zipped up. So it's a full waterproof cocoon, protecting all the electronics and the staff importantly. So that's everything I can show you on the stand. If you have any questions, please get in contact with Greaves 3D Engineering, and we'll be happy to share more and build your bespoke pit lane equipment solution.